Okay, so we're live. Welcome to Ammertime Podcast, episode 4. We just had another game this afternoon, or this evening now. I'm here with Kasimir, who's from Sweden.
Hi.
So maybe you want to introduce yourself and just say who you are, what you do in the hobby, what armies you play, how long you've been playing maybe.
Yeah, sure. I'm just first time here playing in Copenhagen. I guess I would deem myself as more of a casual player, which today has proven since I got tabled twice, but it was fun. So I mainly play Undying Dynasties, but I played Skaven a lot in 7th. I played basically since the somewhere in the mid 7th till through all through 8th with Tomb Kings. So I went through the hard times, the good times, and now we're here.
Now we're back into the light.
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe not from today's experience, but it's a learning curve. So
definitely.
Yeah, we had a game today, and it was one-sided. I think you made a few mistakes in the movement phase and maybe a little bit in the deployment phase.
Yeah, but as we were saying before, I guess my problem is really that I don't think about the angles that much. Or now when I haven't played for a month or something, you kind of lose the idea of how fast do these units move, and then suddenly they're outside of your charge range and you just lose. So.
Yeah. What was some of the highlights of today? I would say some of the dice rolls were a bit like, what is going on? The two bolt thrower crew fending off the carrion.
Yeah, exactly. Man finally managed to charge it and then it just dies. But also the thunderbolt on the Gusk thunderbolt on the Colossus, and then you got 6 hits, and I thought, wow, this is gonna die, but he just did 1 wound.
1 wound, 4+, 1 wound.
Yeah.
Damn it! Come on, come on! First turn, and I charged 10 Swordmasters and 5 Silverhelms into the front of the Tomb Guard.
Yeah, which I thought that was a mistake, because I play a unit of 34 Tomb Guard with halberds, and the king who was jazzed up with lots of magic items.
Yeah, he was hard. I find it really hard to kill him. He was really good. Five wounds?
Yeah, so he has the Armor of Eternities, so it's an extra wound, so 5 wounds and plate armor with a shield, so 3+ save and 5+ ward.
Yeah.
And then also runs the Blessed Sword.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing with the unit is I forgot that their weapons go 6.
Yeah.
Even the Swordmasters going in there, when they're hitting on a 4+ or a 3+ with the +1 to hit, is I was expecting, okay, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to at least kill with 15 attacks. I just kind of had it in my head, I'm going to kill 7 or something like that. But I directed 6 attacks or 9 attacks onto the king. I'll kill him off, and I didn't do any wounds.
Yeah, exactly. I think you killed only with Swordmasters only 3 or 4.
3 or 4 guys, and the Silverhelms killed another 3 or 4. And then the Silverhelms all died.
Yeah.
And then the Swordmasters ran away. And and then you chased them, and that kind of pulled the unit out.
Yeah, which was, I guess that was also maybe not the smartest idea.
No, maybe you should have stood there and just waited for me. I thought that would probably been better.
Yeah.
And then you charged into one of my units and didn't catch them because I fled, and then I got you in the flank with the White Lions.
Yeah, where I could have also redirected into the White Lions.
Yeah.
But I think that was, when I thought about it now, I realized that I'm still stuck in the 8th edition mindset where, the White Lions were still it's a decent sized unit, but there's not so many.
Yeah, there's only 15.
Yeah, so in 8th, I mean, if it's a 15 unit of infantry into my horde of, not Temple Guard, but Tomb Guard in the side, I will just, I'll take that charge, then I'll reform and I'll kill them.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, you just wipe the whole unit because you can't, you're not steadfast when you have the ranks on this side.
I think as well, if you'd have taken it in the front, you'd have ground them down.
Yeah, definitely.
And one thing that you had today is it called the Souled Conduit?
Yeah. So this is a recent addition to the Undying Dynasties, where you pay 50 points on a level 3 or 4, and then
50 points.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah,
is it an arcane item?
No, it's just an upgrade actually.
Really? So you can have a scroll or anything as well?
Yeah, so I mean...
it doesn't even take your magic items.
Yeah.
It's so good! It's so good!
Yeah, so what it does is that it fixes the winter magic in your own phase, so you always get 7 plus d3 dice, but your opponent gets 6 dispel dice.
So it kind of worked out that I always had 6, and maybe 7 if I could channel.
Yeah.
And you were getting between, 8 and...
Yeah.
8 and 10?
Yeah, and then with the channel you can go up to 11. So I think I actually had 2 phases with 11.
Yeah.
And in general you get a 9 or something, so it's quite good.
It was just really reliable. I was rolling my dice like normal, and I was getting phases with 3 and 1 and 5 and 1 and 4 and 1, and I just couldn't really get much going. I mean, I got a few spells through,
Yeah.
but it was your phases were much more powerful. I think you had my scroll by the second turn, and then
it was very fast actually.
Yeah, I had to dispel something, and you had so many dice, and it was the level. You had level 4.
Yeah, so I ran a level 4 on light. It was also like a new arcane item, which lets you exchange the attribute for the attribute of the Sands lore.
Yeah.
So you can still heal units and stuff, and then I had a level 2 on
that's an item?
Sands. Yeah, it's like 35 points, and then you just take the like lore attribute from Sands, which is the healing and stuff.
How did you feel about the Lore of Light today?
Yeah, I did not like it actually, because I mean, I think I was kind of misled a little bit by, like you read people on the forums talking about like, their strategies and stuff.
Light Council
Yeah,
build.
well, not really. It's
You didn't have a Light Council, you had one level 4.
Yeah,
right?
but they talk so much about like, okay, there's the Soul Conduit, and you should always 2 dice with this, because that's how you get like the maximum amount of efficiency.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, I should do this, and Lore of Light is good because it's low casting values.
Yeah.
But it just ended up that the Lore of Light spells just don't do enough. It's a lot of spells that even if I get all of them off, I mean, I don't think you really would have cared in a lot of situations.
No,
sure.
The Burning Gaze is D6 strength 4 or D6 strength 6. And when you cast it on a unit of 10 skirmishers, I mean, unless you roll a 6 or a 5, I'm not really that worried, because it's like a few models. And hopefully I've got high leadership, I'm going to pass my planning test.
Yeah,
exactly. And I can let that spell go through in favour of stopping your combat buff, which is actually going to change the game in a big way.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it really worked. I would have been more afraid of the Lore of Sands.
Yeah, I feel also
those spells are really good.
Yeah, I feel also that I think you could probably see the Soul Conduit as a way of saying I'm gonna get at least one spell each phase.
Because the buff spells are really good, like the multiple.
And then you just like maybe 3 dice those spells, just to say like, okay, one of these are gonna go through. Whereas when you 2 dice, you might get 2 spells, but those 2 spells might not be worth, like they might not do anything at all.
What other laws can you take with the 2 Undying?
So it's only light and death. So I've not tried New Death. I have no idea how it is actually.
The lore attribute, I think, it gives you -1 leadership.
Right, that's good.
Which can combo quite well with some stuff like the Screamer Skull, Catapult maybe. I think it does, and I think that's what it is. Like you get -1 leadership, and I think you can only target 1 unit per phase.
Okay.
Something like that. So yeah, I think it's quite good. I've used it with the Loremaster, just the signature, but I haven't used the lore. It's not really my thing. I more go for like the shooty ones.
Yeah.
The killy ones rather than the subtle, have the ones use like technical things.
Yeah.
So the game today, obviously it was really one-sided. I thought that the Swordmasters, we've been talking about them all day, all day. Like, they're so good. But they didn't really do very well. I think that's because the weapon skill 6.
Yeah, definitely.
And the white lions that I used as bait in the first turn, it kind of worked.
Yeah, I kind of fell for that.
I think the Dragon Princes are really good.
Yeah,
High Elves.
How much did it cost? So you ran a unit of 5 with a banner?
Yeah,
how much did it cost?
A unit of 5 with a banner and a movement banner. So the movement 10.
Okay, yes.
And I think they're 38 points a model, so it's 150 plus 40. It's like 200 point unit.
Yeah, I mean of course it's expensive for like 5 toughness 3 wounds, but they really, I mean, it's hard to kill them by shooting because of the save.
Super Psalm save and the ward save.
Yeah. 6+, of course. Yeah, we've had many 6+s this game actually.
I'm so good at rolling 6+s. It's so good. Like the Dragon Princes, the first turn they moved up and the white lions were bait and the chariots charged and I fled and then the Dragon Princes killed the chariots and then overran and then charged the archers and then overran and then charged the mage bunker and they charged in. I had rubber lances and I was like, oh, I haven't killed many. And there was still 5 left and they weren't dying. One was like, oh, I'm not going to die. Then the one skeleton, he managed to wound it. I was like, I'm going to roll another 1 now. And I rolled a 1. Oh no, he's going to die. 6 plus ward save. Yes, 6 is alive. The dice were funny today. And the first turn when my Shadow Warriors were pew 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 at the casket, and I did 4 wounds, and you saved all but 1.
Yeah,
and the armor save and the ward
6
save.
plus save and then 5 plus ward. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was a fun game though.
Yeah.
How do you find in general? How do you find the new Tomb Kings?
I feel that they're
just compared to like 8th.
Yeah, I feel that they're really good. I mean, obviously, if you compare them to End Times, where you had the unified.
Yeah, where you could use the vampire.
Yeah, then I would say, I mean, of course, they're worse than that. Even though I didn't use any vampire counts units, but I mean, just because some of the things in that book were broken, because Desert Wind, the Desert Wind, when you got the movement spell, you were actually allowed to march. So then you could, for example, use your Necrosphinx to fly twice in one turn,
So you
which
go
is
40 inches in
yeah,
a
which
turn.
is too powerful. I mean, so of course it's worse than that, but at the same time, it's like so much better. And like what I feel like it was in the Tomb King book, there were so many units which were improperly costed. Like that was the only thing. The rules were fine,
Yeah.
but the point costs were just way off. And like Undying Dynasties really just make everything a little bit more like appropriately costed. But it still keeps the theme where you actually like it. You can't just take a bunch of units and push them forward. You have to make them like work, which today I didn't. So
yeah, I think you were just a bit like your army didn't really synergize in the right ways. You kind of had the Sphinx off one direction, the Tomb Guard off the other direction, the Bone Giant in another way. And it's just practice. I think you just gotta keep it in one place and support each other a bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's a learning experience. But I played a bit of MSU today. It was my strategy of the day, was to try and play some MSU, and it wasn't really a true MSU list. I still had the guy in the Phoenix with the bow and had an Archmage rather.
But he's only one guy, so I mean, like, it's a small unit.
It's just expensive. It's like 450 point
sure,
model. And,
sure.
But the rest of the army was quite MSU. The Sea Guard, I was not happy with the Sea Guard today. I've been saying like all the podcasts since we started, the Sea Guard are so good. They come on, they shoot, and then they charge in. But today they came on in turn 5, and there was nothing left to kill.
I was actually hoping that would be like one of the few units I got points for because they didn't come on.
But they came on turn 5. But I think if they come on turn 2 and 3, then they're really good. Like you didn't really see it today, but my plan was to bring them on next to your mage bunker with the Hierophant in. Come on one turn, shoot 20 shots, and then
destroy.
Either you turn and face me and I charge in and kill you, or you try and run away and I charge and kill you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Also, that was when I deployed. I realized that I would I was gonna lose that bunker because of that unit like sooner or later. So I just that's why I pushed I had big Vasa Tomb Guard, as I said. I just pushed them forward a lot because I felt like I just have to chase you right now because I know I'm gonna lose like my big mage bunker with all the points.
Yeah, you have to. One thing I would say is because the Tomb Guard were in front of the mage bunker, which is fine, but the Tomb Guard they overran and then they moved up.
Yeah.
And you wanted to shoot with them.
Yeah.
So you were like moving 4 inches so you could shoot, or you were turning round to shoot me. Yeah. You should have just moved 8 and followed the Tomb Guard, and then you're all together.
Yeah, that's true. I think actually though that like because of the overrun, I think I lost like marching range from the general because Undead always only march with
12 inches, right?
So I was actually considering that, but then when I actually came like I'm gonna do this, it's like no I can't. So,
we were talking earlier about some things that you're gonna do with your list now, like in the future, and one thing that I suggested was that you put your Tomb King on a Sphinx, and that makes him a large target, right?
Yeah.
And that gives him an 18-inch bubble.
Yeah, definitely.
How would you feel that would like improve your list or improve the way that your army can move around the board?
Yeah, that a lot because then you get so much more freedom, and I that's like the list I want to play because I played only Tomb King's Knave, and it was such a static army, and after a while it gets kind of boring to sit and wait and shoot. So I really want to play a list that moves a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way of doing it. Because you have basically 36 inches of the table.
Yeah, exactly.
That
you just put him in the middle and then everything marches.
Yeah, and he's pretty tough, and I'm sure you can think of some good combos.
Yeah, like the list I wrote with him, like the maximum armor save you can get is 3+, and then like a 4+ ward. But I mean 3+, 4+.
Does he give the ward save to the mount as well?
Yeah, because it's just a monstrous beast. So he gets the combined profile and stuff. So he gets like I guess 5 wounds on toughness 6, I think. I'm not sure if it's toughness 6 or 5, but I think it's 6.
Yeah, but that's still pretty good.
So it's pretty tanky, and it might.
Do you get all the riders as well?
No, you only get it's only him and the Sphinx, so it's not very killy, but it's still.
So he's like on the Mummakil on Lord of the Rings, like he's like the guy riding him. That would be a good conversion.
Yeah, well, actually, right now I'm actually building it. So my plan was, during the end times, I didn't buy the Arc and the Black model on the flying skull monstrosity. But I really wanted to, but then I realized like let's just make the the Royal Sphinx out of this. So the plan is to make that like that model, and then all the skulls will probably be gold or something.
Okay.
And
Cool.
then the plan is that's the explanation why it's not toughness 8, because that's the big
Yeah,
debate
yeah,
on
yeah.
Undying
That's
Dynasties,
quite a
because
cool idea.
he made it out of gold because he's so vain, and gold is very soft, so of course it's not toughness 8. It's fine.
Do you have a fluff background of your army, or?
No, not that much. I mean, I don't know why, because I've never done that, because it changes, like, the idea I have of playing always changes a lot, so I've never really been able to, like, really write story, but maybe with this guy on the Golden Sphinx, I mean,
Golden
like...
Sphinx? You could make it like the Golden Sphinx of some tomb city.
Yeah, exactly, and he's just, he's this really vain guy. Maybe he also is like Sigvald. He looks in the mirror and he's like, yeah, damn, you're hot, dude.
With your moldy skin.
Exactly. Then I'll bring a mirror to the tournament.
You
Like,
could have a mirror in his hand.
Yeah.
I think actually Neferata, one of the
Yeah,
models,
I
actually
think
comes
she does.
with a mirror,
Yeah, it's good.
and you could his face is peeling away, but in the mirror it's like a nice reflection.
Yeah, that would
Like
be.
what it used to look like.
I feel like I have to practice my freehand, but that would be cool. That would be really cool.
Have you seen the freehand on my banners? I don't know if you noticed that. My
Yeah, a little
dragon,
bit. Yeah.
banner and the chariot was briefly on the table.
Yeah.
But I like to do freehanded on my banners.
Okay.
And recently there was a bit of I got a lot of stick because I have, with my new Vampire Count army,
Yeah.
I made a banner which was for the Drakenhof Guard.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a spelling mistake on the banner, and I was like, "Look, guys, look at what I made." And I took a picture of it, and we have like a group chat, and it was like, "Henry, do you know that you're English and you just spelled guard the wrong way around?" And I was like, "Oh no!" And literally on my computer when I was doing it, I checked the spelling. I'd written it into Google, like, how do you spell this word? Just because it was like an awkward word that I wanted to get 100% right before I painted it.
Yeah.
I checked it and then I did it wrong. So yeah, that was a bit of a fail.
Yeah. So are you gonna go back or just like keep it this way?
No, I've changed it.
Oh,
I've changed it already.
How bad was that? Because I mean, I also like doing freehand, but sometimes when you have to go back, you layer up so much paint that it gets kind of like a little wobbly.
It wasn't too bad because it was, how, I don't know, like the Empire, they have kind of like, it's like a Vampire Empire army.
Yeah.
And so it's like on like a scroll kind of thing. So it's like a brown type of scroll with just Drakenhof Guard written in black.
Yeah.
So I just had to kind of paint over the U and the A, and then write an A and a U, or whichever. I still don't know.
Don't
My
ask
spelling,
me.
my English is awful since I've been living in Denmark.
Yeah.
So we've been talking here for 20 minutes now. So we're gonna take tea. So thank you very much, Kasimir,
thanks for
coming to
letting me
Denmark
come.
and playing. And I hope you've enjoyed yourself. And
It's been
we've
very
certainly
fun.
had a good time.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna go out and have a few drinks on the town.
Yeah.
And maybe
Sounds
we
good.
do some recording with some people in town. It's always fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much for coming on. I don't know if you want to have a shout out to anyone or say anything while you're here on the air to the world of Ninth Age.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just like, I could say that I would like to thank all the people who worked on the Undying Dynasties book, because they're really good. I feel like they're really good people who care about making a balanced book, not only like making something which is the best for us, like the Undying Dynasties players. So I feel like they're doing a very good job.
And maybe we should say just you're from Lund.
Yep.
Lund.
Which is very close to Denmark. It's like a most southern part of Sweden, basically.
Yeah. So Kasimir is from Lund, and he's come to Copenhagen today, partly to meet us and play some Warhammer, but also because it's very difficult for him to find games.
Yeah.
So if there's anyone out there near the Lund area who wants to play a game of Ninth Age, then you're welcome to contact us through the podcast, and we can put you in contact with Kasimir. Or I'm sure maybe you have your contact details that you want to say on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could find me on the Ninth Age forums.
Yeah.
I'm Echunia, which is weird to spell, but like ECHUNIA.
There you go. So
Yeah.
if you're in the Lund area, you can contact Kasimir, and we can also, if you want to come to Copenhagen for a game, you're more than welcome to get in contact with us. Same way Kasimir did on email at ammertimedk@gmail.com.
Yep.
So thank you very much for listening, and have a nice Christmas